Morning, one and all. Now we are going to discuss about the campaign against sexual harassment at the workplace. The campaign against sexual harassment at the workplace with our Apex Court of India case law, Vikas case. Sexual harassment is any contact that's sexual in nature and unwelcome, imposed and unreciprocated by the recipient. Sexual harassment at the workplace can seriously affect the person's job, career, personal well being, and can also create a intimidating, hostile, or humiliating work environment. Sexual harassment is defined by its impact on the recipient and not the intent of the harasser. The Supreme Court of India defines sexual harassment as any unwelcome sexually determined behavior, such as physical contact and advances. Number two is a demand or request for sexual favors. Number three, sexually colored remarks. Number three, showing pornography. Number five, any other unwelcome physical, verbal, non-verbal contact of a sexual nature. Sexual harassment is a manifestation of power relations and a form of gender discrimination. As a result, women are much more likely to be sexually harassed than men. According to the International Labour Organization (ILO), this is precisely because precisely because the women lack power, are in more vulnerable and insecure positions, lack self-confidence, or having socialized to suffer in silence. Like that, throughout history, women have lacked power socially, culturally, economically, and politically, and have been the recipients of unwanted sexual attention, ranging from unwelcome comments about their bodies, sexual availability, looks, and gestures to sexual assault and rape. Sexual harassment occurs in many forms within two primary categories: quiet pro quo and hostile environment harassment. QUIDPROQUO. Quiet pro quo. A Latin phrase meaning this is for that. This is for that is the Latin phrase meaning. Quiet pro quo harassment means that an employer or any other person in authority suggests to an employee that he will give her this job or promotion or salary in return for that sexual favor. Although quiet pro quo harassment is rampant, it is universally considered so egregious that its illegality is no longer reputedly challenged. This is about quiet pro quo sexual harassment happening. Hostile environment harassment, on the other hand, is more subtle, ambiguous, and pervasive. It includes all other forms of unwelcome and offensive sexual contact. Some examples of hostile environment harassment are as follows. First one is physical, deliberate contact, such as touching, leaning over, cornering, pinching, cropping, or pressing against. Next one is obscene gestures. Next ingredient is suggestive looks or remarks. Next ingredient is sexual teasing. Next ingredient is pressure for dating. Next ingredient is pressure for sexual favors. Advancing, it is called as undue coercionally advancing. Next one is pressure for sexual favors. Next ingredient is sexual or unfriendly remarks. Another ingredient is gender-based insults or taunting. Next one ingredient is sexually explicit telephone calls or emails like social media. Another ingredient is display of pornography. These are all the examples of hostile environment harassment. Now we are going to share a landmark reported citation in our Apex Court of India. In 1997, the Supreme Court handed down a landmark judgment, Visaga and others versus State of Rajasthan. Vigasa and others versus State of Rajasthan and others, which recognized sexual harassment at the workplace as a human rights violation. In particular, the Supreme Court recognized that each such incident of sexual harassment at the workplace results in violation of the fundamental rights of gender equality and the right to life and liberty. It is clear violation of the rights under Articles 14, 15, and 21 of the Constitution. One of the logical consequences of such an incident is also the violation of the victim's fundamental right under Article 19(1) G to practice any profession or to carry out any occupation, trade, or business. Such violations, therefore, attract the remedy under Article 32 for the enforcement of these fundamental rights of women. 226 for High Court. Article 32 is for Apex Court, Supreme Court. Notably, in this judgment, the Supreme Court also recognized the significance of international conventions and norms in the absence of domestic legislation on sexual harassment at the workplace. In addition to defining sexual harassment, the Visaga case led the Supreme Court to lay down guidelines which direct employers to prevent sexual harassment at the workplace and implement redressal mechanisms. So, every problem solving or solution method is redressal mechanism. Now, every employer in every sector, organized, unorganized, public, private, or educational, is required to have an effective compliance mechanism which could include a sexual harassment policy and a compliance committee. Along with that, the outcome of these consultations have been submitted to the Supreme Court in the Mehta Kotwal matter, MEDHA Mehta, KOTWL, Mehta Kotwal matter under pending approval. So, these are all the essential synopsis about the the campaign against the sexual harassment at the workplace in India, especially sexual harassment is both for both genders or any gender, transgender including. But this because Visaga and others versus State of Rajasthan and others is essentially to prevent the fundamental rights of victims, especially the um, women, feminine center, uh, from sexual harassment, to prevent the females from sexual harassment at the workplace today. We are all born to heal all wounded hearts, wounded minds, wounded souls. Go ahead, rule your arena. Have a nice day. Thank you.